Well, hello, and welcome to this week's episode of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. I'm your host, Chris Green, Director of Network Expansion for Avoya Travel. And thank you so much for your time. We're excited to begin year number three. Number three of our weekly engagement show. And we start year three as we started episode 1 2 years ago with the hopes that by watching our show, listening to the experts offer exclusive advice on how to run and operate a stronger travel business, that you would be enticed to want to find out more about the Avoya Way, our unique and best-in-class resources that allow our affiliates to sell more, generate more in commissions than any other host agency or franchise model. You see, at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie, and Avoya Travel has the business intelligence, the history, and the future to make it all come together like no one else. So thank you again for being part of our show, and we're excited to dive headfirst into another year of travel experts, their stories, and Avoya-led resources. Now, of course, I can't completely move forward without at least looking back last week and again, extending my just utmost appreciation to everyone at Celebrity Cruises for making our 2-year anniversary special such an amazing experience, from the world-class staff to the amazing cuisine, the next level entertainment talent. Wow, the celebrity beyond was just that and then some. And of course, a very special thank you to my very special guest last week, Donda Ritzenholler, Senior Vice President of Sales, Trade Support, and Service for Celebrity Cruises, hosting the show live with an audience that was made up mostly of our former guests of our show, both from the industry, our company, our outstanding travel network. It just made for a really wonderful experience. So to everyone that watched and made it our highest engaged show to date, thank you so much. Okay, onward and upward. Here we go. We'll continue to have some industry insights each week with our Eye on the Industry segment. Today, we discussed Disney buying a new ship that's already partially built. That's a first for that brand. This story has a couple of firsts for the Disney brand. Royal Caribbean has reached a new deal for a new terminal in Miami, and that's good news for those in the travel industry. And speaking of good news, in the Dominican Republic and for the Hyatt brand specifically, as they announce a reopening ahead of schedule from recent hurricane damage. We have a great returning guest today. Brenda Potter, Manager of Network Enrichment, is joining us for an Avoya Insider segment on all sorts of cool updates. Plus, we'll discuss last week's Avoya Travel Conference that both of us attended. I look forward to welcoming Brenda back to our show here in just a moment. Last week was Veterans Day, and we continue to honor those that serve and have served with our Veterans discount. We'll provide details. Plus, we're going to highlight a few of our top-level resources available exclusively to those in the Avoya network. It's all happening today on Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. And it's time to kick it off, a little industry insight and our Eye on the Industry feature. Now, in this story, we sourced it from Travel Weekly, and Disney Cruise Line is going to add another ship to its fleet after acquiring the partially built Global Dream, the mega ship abandoned due to bankruptcy. Now, this mega ship will roughly carry 6,000 passengers. It'll be renamed. It's going to be based outside of the United States. So again, that's new for Disney. Sailing to new destinations for the cruise line, although Disney has not said where yet. And the ship is expected to set sail in 2025. The Global Dream was 75% finished when Genting Hong Kong's BW Wharf shipyard ceased operations and filed for insolvency at the beginning of 2022. Genting was building the mega ship for the Asian market. It was to sail for its now defunct Dream Cruise brand. It weighs in at 208,000 gross tons and is expected to be the first to run on green methanol, an emerging fuel source with lower emission levels than liquefied natural gas. Also from Travel Weekly, Royal Caribbean Group has struck a deal for a new terminal, Terminal G at Port Miami. The construction is part of a development and lease agreement approved Tuesday by that county's Board of Commissioners. It's expected to bring in $2.8 billion in economic development to the county over 50 years and create 12,000 cruise-related jobs. And according to county documents, the county will foot the construction costs up front. The agreement provides for the construction of Terminal G for exclusive use by Royal Caribbean Group's lines. That'll include Royal Caribbean International and Celebrity. Royal Caribbean will hold the lease at Terminal G for 36 years with 3 7-year extensions. And finally, in a story from Travel Pulse, Hyatt Zilara Cap Cana reopened early. Yeah, I'm sure they're all happy about that, after the property was closed due to damage from Hurricane Fiona. Christmas has come early, said Andrea Wright, the Vice President of USA Sales at Playa Hotels and Resorts. we're truly excited to share that our beautiful Hyatt Zilara Cap Cana has reopened as of November 15th, ahead of our original projected date. That's a nice little boost just before the holidays for the travel agents that can sell that extra space, and of course, the clients that are just lucky enough to luck into that extra space, especially if it's a great fit, that last second stuff. And guess what? If you're part of a network and you're not getting live leads for resorts like that, you might want to reach out and get that conversation started with an affiliation specialist today, because we'll make sure that all of our contact information is shared in a bit. But revenue from exclusive Avoya live leads makes up on average 60% of affiliates' gross sales in the Avoya network. So we're talking a very powerful resource. Time for my favorite segment of our show here On Deck with Avoya, our Q&A with an industry expert. And today we welcome back an Avoya Insider, Brenda Potter, to our show. Brenda is the manager of our network enrichment team, helps oversee our Avoya University, helps countless new affiliates on their road to early success. So please welcome in our Avoya Insider special guest this week, Brenda Potter, manager of network enrichment for Avoya Travel. Brenda, so great to have you back for another episode of On Deck with Avoya.
Thank you. It's good to be here. And I was one of the lucky ones to be in your live On Deck last week. So I have a question, Chris.
Sure.
Pants or no pants?
Oh, I'm not answering. That little secret is staying with us, Brenda. That's hilarious. Use your imagination.
Oh my.
So for those of you that may have missed our past appearance when Brenda was on our show last year, Brenda, can you give us a quick recap of your history of the travel industry and how you came to be the manager here at Avoya Travel?
Absolutely. So prior to being part of the network enrichment team, I had a brief stint as an independent agency owner with Avoya and loved it so much that when the opportunity arose to join the network enrichment team, I knew it was a good one. And so I've been on that team for 5 years now, started with just simply helping new affiliates in the Avoya University courses, which is our professional development when they come on. And then I got to be a part of redesigning our department, developing a whole live webinar series with my colleague, Michelle Gummo, and now just privileged to be manager of such an amazing team.
So Brenda, so we set the stage properly and kind of lay that proper foundation for our discussion. Can you tell me a little bit about your department, network enrichment, and what it does and how it impacts those in the Avoya network?
Sure. So network enrichment, first and foremost, assists new affiliates and licensed agents with learning how to use our system, learning how to leverage all the resources to grow their business. But then we continue that support throughout the network because there's so much to absorb and our processes are constantly upgrading. We provide enhanced education, continued development, and assistance with feedback on trip records and just really getting in there and helping everyone understand how to use our system efficiently.
It certainly has paid benefits because those that are really engaged with the network enrichment team come out of that process and they're able to start really capturing the good stuff, the sales, generating the commissions, all of that. So certainly a vital resource for Avoya Travel. And our timing's pretty good too, right? To have you as a guest because you're just in the process of releasing a new network enrichment center, from what I understand.
We are. So never ones to rest on our laurels. We are constantly keeping up. And so the Learning Enrichment Center has been launched, and we actually have a webinar in about an hour and a little bit to demo that Learning Enrichment Center. It's in Agent Power Learn tab and then the Learning Enrichment Center. And it's going to provide libraries of information for the network to use. It also has my favorite thing, a search feature, so that you can go in and just simply type a topic and get everything that we have on that topic in one place. Or like keeping with the library theme, you can browse the different libraries available, such as suggested best practices or quick reference resources, and really help grow on the knowledge that hopefully you gain when you go through Avoya University.
It's Brenda, for those that might be watching our webinar that are part of the Avoya network, all of that makes perfect sense. For those that are outside of our network, they've got to be like just kind of scratching their head because the desire to have that kind of level of support, a resource that is that deep, that provides that level of access for an independent affiliate is not something that a lot of people outside of the Avoya Travel network are really beneficial in having. And it really helps set us apart. What do you think this new Network Enrichment Center can do to help an affiliate achieve in their business goals and doing so in a more efficient and effective way?
You are so right, Chris, that I think most of new affiliates come on and are shocked at what is available in the Avoya Travel Network. So the Learning Enrichment Center goes beyond the basics of learning the system to additional content, to really diving deep into some of the areas that maybe are a little bit more complex until you have real case scenarios. So then you can go back into this Learning Enrichment Center and really deepen your knowledge on that topic. And, so it just provides you that continued professional development from when you start with us all the way through. Everything that you need to know about our system can be found there.
So if you're not part of Avoya Travel and you're sitting there throwing a temper tantrum going, I want a network enrichment center, I want one too. Guess what? All you have to do is reach out to the website avoyanetwork.com, put in that request, speak with an affiliation specialist. They'll tell you our story. We'll find out about your story. And before you know it, you could be working with somebody amazing like Brenda Potter and the team in the Network Enrichment Center to be working on your business too. You don't have to be left out. So we just want to make that clear. Brenda, you work with so many of our affiliates, and over the course of 5 years, I would have to assume that you've seen some good traits that kind of percolate towards the top on a frequent basis. And on the opposite side, you probably see some traits that are not so good that either impact in a good way or a bad way in affiliate success. Can you maybe highlight some of those from your standpoint in both categories?
Absolutely. There's a lot that we see that is great coming in, like the passion, the hunger, the desire to get started. And so all of that is really great because there's a lot of work to do, not only just to learn the system you're going to use, to learn suppliers, to learn how to set up a business and get started. But that hunger can drive somebody to go too fast. So the place that I would caution new affiliates is to go slow at first, but build a strong foundation of knowledge, really deepen what your skills are so that when it's time to go fast, you're ready. Because too often I see the eagerness kind of stray down too far in the path and they're not prepared. And then they come back running and going, oh my gosh, I'm a little scared, So it's best to really take advantage of the place in your journey that you're at and not try to rush through it too soon.
Yeah, because our agent power system is pretty powerful. It's kind of like getting behind the wheel of a Ferrari, and you can either ease that down the road or you can try and jump right on the Autobahn and open her up pretty fast. And sometimes both can have its set of consequences. So that's really smart advice to kind of take it in a digestible way, to continue to make progress every single day and every single week towards your ultimate goals, but not try to race ahead too much, right? Ultimately.
Yes, I think we heard that at conference actually, to make small goals, right? One tree at a time, planted will build a forest.
Absolutely. Brenda Potter, manager of Network Enrichment, is our featured Avoya Insider guest today. Brenda, it was so great to see you last week as we talked about Avoya Travel Conference. From your perspective, what were some of the highlights that you took home from that week on board the Celebrity Beyond?
Well, it was my first conference to attend, so I was blown away. The networking alone and excitement to be a part of the travel industry, to include suppliers and my colleagues and independent agencies, it made everything bigger and better. I think one of the highlights for me was to see the suppliers really innovate and be creative to meet where the consumer's demand was. Dondra mentioned it last week, that revenge travel. And to hear the different supplier presentations where they're meeting those demands and everything is more customizable and more authentic and immersive. And so that was really exciting. And then the other part was to celebrate our top IAs was super fun, but to watch the other IAs who said, that's going to be me next year, was also so amazing. I just loved being a part of all of that.
And we normally talk about everything from a perspective of an independent affiliate and how those that participate in national conference, our academies at sea, our, the land forums, all of those, programs, they ultimately come away and they normally sell at a higher rate. But I think it's fair to say, don't you agree that as an employee, we come back from a week like that and we're stronger in our job, more committed to what we want to do and have a chance to really help further everybody's cause too?
Absolutely. I came back actually already saying that to my director of network enrichment, telling her how appreciative I was, because by sitting one-on-one with the affiliates and hearing their stories and seeing through their eyes their journey, I'm going to do a better job. And by meeting my colleagues in person, I have a better trust and a better relationship to reach out and work together. So it was definitely an enhancement all around for me to be a better part of the team.
And we hit a couple of great ports while we were out on the national conference. We were in Costa Maya, Mexico for an afternoon, and then Cozumel. Did you have a chance to get off the ship in either port? What was that like for you?
You're going to be so disappointed in me. I didn't get off the ship, but Avoya is so busy right now, and I had a hardworking team at home, and I didn't want to put any more work on them than I needed to, but I did explore the ship and work from some beautiful places on the Celebrity Beyond. I just didn't get off of it. But my one discovery was there are not a lot of plugs on the cruise ship, but probably most people don't go there to work. They go there to relax, right?
Right, absolutely. I found that out the hard way at like 4:30 in the morning one morning, trying to find a place to plug in my laptop. I can tell you where they all are at this point if you need any advice. I was lucky enough, I got off the ship first in Costa Maya just to grab a fridge magnet, which is kind of a tradition with my wife and I. But then in Cozumel, I got off and I said, I'm going to walk from where this port is. And there were like several ships. There was a new Royal Caribbean in port with us and Holland America. And I said, I'm going to walk into the main part of town. You kind of look and you go, oh, it's not that far. And it's really not that hot. And I live in Florida. The problem is that once you get off about a quarter of a mile, you're in the no man's land. You either continue with your march or you turn around and come back because no other cabs are going to pick you up. So I learned that the hard way, and I sweated all the bad decisions I had made a couple of days before out in that walk. And I really did enjoy Cozumel, and I look forward to getting back there for some extra stuff. What do you think, Brenda, it is about personal travel that excites us so much as people?
I think that those who love to travel love to explore. We love to meet new people, see new places, taste new food, learn new things. So I think that it will always be a surviving industry because curiosity never dies. And I know that I will have a long bucket list of places that I will probably never get to all of them.
Absolutely. Anything on the list, though, or anything that you're going to get to knock off soon, maybe in a personal travel kind of way?
Yes. So the last time I was here with you, Chris, I had told you I was recently engaged. And so we're getting married next year. So planning a honeymoon to Australia and hoping to do a little Globus trip there. And then constantly keeping up with my daughter who's about to graduate from university. She's headed off to either Morocco, Jordan, or Egypt. I'm waiting to hear, and I will be following her around the world.
Sounds pretty exciting. Brenda, just a few more questions before we wrap up today. Whether that's working with our network enrichment team or our Foundations for Early Success coaches, brand sales mastermind, how vital do you think strong professional development is for a new agent?
It's so important to really dig in and participate. We can't assume we know everything. And so really taking every opportunity to grow and attend that webinar, go to that event, participate is going to be important to your success. We see that agencies in the network who are the ones that are investing in the programs and opportunities available are the ones that are growing in success. And I would be remiss, Chris, if I didn't mention, we have a new and exciting opportunity for professional development coming. In addition to the Learning Enrichment Center launch, we are moving our 4-part live webinar series to a 6-part series during the week, one at least for every day of the week with our whole team. If you miss that kind of opportunity to ask questions, to be interactive not only with staff, but with your colleagues in the network, you're missing out on an opportunity to grow and be more successful.
I have no doubt that is going to be an incredibly successful and well-used resource because what you guys provide is so vital for the success of somebody. And I mean, you could see it in their eyes when they were approaching you on the ship, as I kind of watched from afar, you or whether or not it was somebody from our brand sales team or one of the sales coaches, like, you guys really help turn the light bulb on for people. And that has to be, at the end of the day, a pretty rewarding experience for both you as the manager, but also as somebody who gets to assist in that too.
We love the light bulb moment. The light bulb moment fuels us. And sometimes it's, it takes lots of effort, but when it happens, we can see that agent turn around a corner and then it's just amazing to see their growth.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is the softball question I always wrap up with. Might as well start year 3 as we have the last couple of years. After a few days on the Celebrity Beyond, are you still excited about the future, not only of Avoya Travel, but of leisure travel in general, Brenda?
I don't think there's a more exciting time to be a part of travel or to be a part of the Avoya Travel Network with all the things coming for our side of the industry, but as well, watching the industry really bounce back in a big way. This is an amazing time to be in the travel industry for sure.
Brenda Potter, everyone, manager of network enrichment for Avoya Travel. Brenda, thank you again for your time and that great insight. And I know the new Network Enrichment Center is going to be a huge plus for our network. So congratulations in advance.
Thanks so much.
Next week, well, we're going to be off, and about this time on Thanksgiving, probably stuffing our faces with turkey and green bean casserole. But we promise to be back in 2 weeks with another exciting episode of On Deck with Avoya. And our old friend Gina Hoyt, director of Avoya Education Platform at Avoya Travel, is going to be here to discuss travel education and why that is such an important topic. Again, education, professional development, it gives agents such a big head start. And that's going to be in 2 weeks when we discuss again with Gina Hoyt when she joins us here on Deck with Avoya. Last Friday, just after our 2-year special, we honored veterans across this country. And Avoya Travel continues to honor them every day with our veterans discount. We're proud to provide this military discount for veterans and their spouses as we take $100 off the original affiliation fee. It's been very popular the last several months that we've been hosting this promotion, and we're excited to continue to offer that and honor that all the way through the end of this year. And to be honest with you, I don't see an end in sight. We just really think that much of the program and what it's doing for people. And again, we're proud to be part of that. Speaking of proud, well, we've got some resources and we're proud of it. I hope you don't mind us bragging just a little bit, but Avoya Travel, we were just a big player in travel's past, but we're going to be an even bigger player in travel's future. And you want to be a part of that. I know you do. Industry leading solutions, best in class resources, live leads, amazing technology, support, professional development like we talked about today, quality you can trust. So you just have to reach out and start the conversation, ask your questions, find out about our history, find out about how business intelligence is our fuel for the future and where we're going as a network and how you can be involved. So how do you reach out? Well, it's pretty simple. My email, chris.green@avoyatravel.com. You can pick up the phone, you can give us a call. You can go to that website, avoyanetwork.com, and certainly put in your request and we'll get you connected with an affiliation specialist. Or you see the little links there where all the cool kids hang out. You can certainly find us on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. And in fact, if you're not a subscriber on either Facebook or YouTube, please subscribe so you make sure that you get all of the content that we release. On top of On Deck with Avoya, we have lots of amazing content that comes out on a weekly basis. And it's put together by my friends at Trade Marketing. Annabella and Marissa do an amazing job in just producing this show and have for the last couple of years. Big thanks again to Brenda Potter for being my special guest. Thank you for being part of On Deck with Avoya as we launch year number 3. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Enjoy that time with your family. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Until then, take care, everyone.